pace of change in the financial markets continues at an extremely rapid rate. We've got exchange consolidation going on. We've got new regulations coming into play. What does that mean for the trading side of things, the equity trading side specifically, for brokers and the buy sides, and how that relationship is working out? We're going to talk about that in the European equity space today. My guest is Rebecca Healey, a senior analyst at TABB Group. Rebecca, thanks for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
You have just released a report called Looking for Allies in the Face of Adversity, I believe is the title.
Correct.
And I wondered, it's a bit of an intriguing title, makes me want to read it, but I don't have it in front of me, so tell me what you mean by that.
Well, essentially everybody knows that trading conditions are getting very challenging in Europe, and I think the next 12 months are going to be extremely difficult for the region as a whole.
Okay.
Everybody can see the way things are heading, but we're not quite sure how everything's yet going to pan out.
Sure.
So essentially the overriding message is trading conditions are going to get more challenging. It's going to get harder, particularly to source liquidity.
Okay, so what does that then mean for the buy side? Because this European equities report really focuses on the buy side and how they're managing through this. So what is this meaning for them, and how are they adapting to it?
Absolutely. We spoke to 60 buy-side traders,
okay,
and 77% of them are saying they're having to change the way that they trade as a result of the
That's
market
a lot.
conditions.
Yeah.
It is a lot, yes. And whereas we were expecting everybody to rush back to the phones, we're not actually seeing that play out. It's
Okay.
becoming a lot more automated, and people are having to choose how they spend their commission dollars.
Right.
What's important to them, what's not important to them, what they can do themselves, what they are looking to their brokers to provide.
Okay.
And that can be anything from the sales trading relationship right up to research and trading ideas.
Sure, sure. Now, how has that, I mean, it seems like they're changing all the way from how they trade. I mean, you said, you would think that you would have a lot of trading going to the phones, right, to get some more of that color and that sort of information, but that's not happening. So changing how they're trading to how the actual relationships are, right, the core relationships and how those are changing. Can you tell us a little bit about how that is playing out in this environment?
Yeah, I mean, we expected them to be returning to the phones, as we said, but in actual fact, more are turning towards automation.
Yeah.
And we're actually seeing that balance out for the first time in Europe between the sales trading relationship and automation, which
Okay.
is the first time that that's happened. And within that, there's a lot to do with the fact that actually algorithms have got a lot smarter, they're a lot more advanced. And what we're seeing is where typically the volume participation strategies that you had previously that didn't work so well in volatile markets, now we're seeing a shift towards more liquidity seeking algorithms, which means that people are more comfortable with using them in these circumstances.
Okay. And so does this mean something further as far as that relationship, like what the buy side is actually looking for? I mean, we talked about kind of the commissions and that piece of it as well. How is that kind of playing into this environment?
Well, what they're looking for essentially is the best of everything. They want the best of automation, they want the best of the sales trading service, they want somebody there who's, whereas we've seen improvements in the actual execution, we haven't seen that so much on the sales trading side. And they're saying, why should I pay somebody 20 basis points to put an order in a machine when I can actually do this much more effectively myself?
Right.
But they still need help with the more complicated trades, the difficult trades where they're trying to find the other side. And also in terms of research, that again is, they don't want average, they want specialist niche knowledge that actually makes the difference in how they trade.
It gives them an edge for those ideas, those investment ideas. Now, it seems to me, and you're there in Europe, so you kind of have your sort of finger on the pulse better than I certainly do. But it seems like a lot of these changes and these challenges that you've written about in the report were sort of the tip of the iceberg, right? I mean, regulation, that's still in its formative phase. There are some indications how difficult things are going to be. I mean, do you expect, this environment that you've written about, this equity trading environment, to kind of continue in this rough patch for some time?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think anybody expects any easy solution to the European crisis. I think volatility and the market nervousness is set to continue for the foreseeable future. And then added to that, you've got MiFID regulation, you've got the possible financial transaction tax. That is all going to have a huge impact on the buy side, on trading in general, but particularly on the buy side, who are looking to their brokers, whether they're looking to the sanctity of the dark, or whether they're looking for research ideas or improved sales trading relationships. or just improvement in trading generally,
right.
you know, they are looking for help. And we're seeing that in the terms of the shift that they're looking in terms of algorithmic providers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a large proportion have moved away from the provider that they had last year. So actually, it's a really good opportunity, I think, for brokers in general in Europe right now. Okay.
Well, that's all the time we have for right now, but we'll continue to keep in touch, and you can kind of keep us up to date as these changes continue to take place. I mean, that's interesting, you know, that you found that so many brokers or buy-side firms have changed providers, and as you say, that does present an opportunity. So we'll touch base with you a couple of months down the road and see what's happening. So there you have it, discussion on European equity trading and the tremendous changes that are taking place in that marketplace and the opportunities that it presents for some swift and smart folks out there. My guest today has been Rebecca Healey, Senior Analyst at TABB Group. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.